Well, this is a shocking surprise. I thought you guys had a policy to pretty much avoid me at all costs.
Honestly, I was going to call you, William, and just remind you that about your complaint. I've asked you a couple times, and it was due me a better service to be able to respond to what it is you're alleging if you reduce what you're trying to allege to writing and submit that.
You do
So I
realize
just
that's
want to
a
make sure,
direct violation of your internal affairs policies 1020, or not 102. I think it was
listen,
1003.
William, I can request that for this specific incident because you are alleging a whole ton of information. And if you want an hour to 2 hours of my time to sit down with you and talk to you about this anymore, I don't have that kind of time. So what I'm asking you to do is if you want to file your complaints, do so in writing so that I can actually look through it and piece by piece assess what's in there. But to sit down and talk with you, and I've been down this road with you before, is difficult because you're all over the place with your complaints without any specifics other than just allegations.
Actually, I've
So
left you guys.
is
I mean, I
what I need from
apologize
you,
for interrupting, but I've
what I
actually
need
left you guys some pretty specific voicemails, just black and white issues, one at a time, that you guys have systematically ignored. So,
well,
you know,
because we have investigated your complaints before. That's the issue.
how many
Everything you're bringing up has been investigated.
how many complaints would you say I've alleged?
How many complaints have you alleged?
Sorry, how many complaints have you guys received?
I'd have to look in the system, but you complained for years now about what we do.
Would you say the number is closer to one or two, or is it upwards of 12?
I'm not going to give you numbers, William. We're not playing guessing games here.
Well,
What
you
I'm
guys
asking
have
for is if
a
you would like to
database.
file a complaint and
You,
you have new information, submit that to me in writing. That's all I'm suggesting.
okay, so the problem with that is
That's
that
reasonable. If you have an avenue to file your complaint with all of the details that you'd like to add, which I have no problems with, but I need you to at least reduce it to writing so I'm not trying to sift through your comments about all of these complaints without any details supporting your concerns.
okay, so there's a couple problems there. One, my brother and I don't have resources to write things down, and the only times that we would otherwise get resources to write things down with is to start the due process for our 42 USCs, which is the same thing
But
as
you
what we would be
first
giving you guys.
sent me an email, right?
Um,
You can send email. If you can send
yeah.
an email, you can send me the information in detail with specifics in an email, and that'll be fine. So you do have resources.
No, but that's the thing is the actual time to sit down and write it out is a whole lot different than just talking about it. Usually, talking about it, I can get through a lot more concepts in a lot less time.
I know.
Writing it down
I'm
is
not
literally
trying to
like
offer.
timeline of
I'm
events,
not
things
going
like
to try
that.
to offer you an hour or two of my time to take your complaint when A, it's already been investigated. From the best of my knowledge, you haven't produced anything that's new, and I have asked you if you have more details to provide it in writing. So my solution to you, William, is send me an email with specifics and outlining how it connects to a complaint. Short of that, I'm not going to talk to you anymore about the same old things that have been resolved already, and you need to move on. That's my option for you.
Oh
So
man,
you have
wow.
two options. You can either send me this information in writing, like I've asked, with specifics of new information, not old information, and or you can let it go. Those are your choices.
Wow, considering I've given you guys more than enough good faith already going through every single issue.
You haven't have an avenue to bring your complaints forward, but just calling me and just telling me that I have to talk to you because you have so much information
No,
without giving us any information
no, that's the thing. I've already
is
given you
not
guys
going
all
to
the
work.
information. Hey, could you do me a favor? Could you go through my YouTube playlist? I actually made it for you guys, and I left you voicemails numerous times explaining each and every individual detail down to what you would need to have in writing. I already spoke about it, all of them, and that's why I documented myself. So the fact that you guys basically probably took my voicemails and just deleted them, I saved them just for you.
I didn't delete them. I didn't delete any of your voicemails, buddy.
Well, let's put it this way. Each one of my issues I've individually addressed, very simply put, as in you can listen to the voicemail over and over again if you miss a word or two. And I guess if I transcribe the voicemails into writing, I could do that for you guys, but it just seems kind of unnecessary at that point. And so, I would like to go over.
You know where? Like, there wasn't any specifics in your detail in your email, sorry, your voicemail messages that would allow me to actually look into things because you speak as far as generalities. You speak about ideas that you have about your interactions with the police versus specifics and how they relate to any potential violations of law or policy. And the things that you have given specifics about, we have investigated already.
Okay, then let me just talk about. Let's just start with one concept to prove you wrong on this idea that I have been inadequately reporting things to you. Would you care to listen for approximately 5 minutes on this one issue?
No.
Which would not require writing down. It's literally black and white. Officer Giddings wrote a ticket. He didn't refer to elements of designated and posted. He took David to court over it. This was Occupy Jefferson. Guess what? The judge found him not guilty, regardless of the use of a map, because the judge had the elements of designation and posted in mind, and that was it. That was all that was needed. There, it took me 10 seconds to get that through to you guys. An officer needs to have probable cause in the streets, and a probable cause requires them to go off of the elements. He didn't go off of the elements. He looked around, and on the sidewalk of Linden Street, which we've caught other people not being ticketed there is no sign that says that's part of the Jefferson Park. End of story, period. Do I need to write that down for you guys?
William, we've investigated that. We've looked into that.
And so, okay, when you say you've investigated into that, are you saying that the cop had probable cause that day? Because if so, I would like to go back out to that same exact sidewalk and get another ticket. Because you guys would have probable cause to write me that same ticket off of that same map, right? You do realize that also I reported that Officer Giddings very basically said in court that he talked to a city attorney, whereas he lied about that because in the streets he said he didn't talk to, or he in court he said he didn't talk to any city attorney. In the streets he said he did talk to a city attorney. He lied on the stand in my court. How many words do I need to describe that with? Do I need to write you guys a novel for that? I'm serious. And so, no, when you say you've looked into it, you're literally telling me that Giddings had every wherewithal to write that ticket that day. Is that correct then?
That's stuff for the courts to decide.
Guess what?
For the court to decide is if you deserved it, if you were found guilty of a crime or not.
You do realize that the court referred to hearsay, and there was nobody there. Bud was not there at the court. And guess what? I challenged that in an appeal, and guess what the district attorney said? He said, nope, that's not hearsay. The Parks Department is the official source for boundaries. So can I just ask you one basic question? I think I'll write everything else down if you can just give me this one answer. Is the Parks Department the official source for boundaries, or is it not? Tell me, can you literally not answer one single question? This question has been plaguing this department forever. Is the Parks Department... No, you literally have a district attorney that is pushing this to the world. Is the Parks Department your official source for boundaries, or is some other department?
Okay, I'll talk to you later because the purpose of me calling you is not to have a discussion about things we've already...
Okay, I will write it down in an email, and I will start an email chain with that one simple question. Can you please answer it? You cannot blow me off.
I am not answering your questions anymore today.
Because
I simply called you to tell you if you would like to file additional information on a complaint, not old complaints all over again, but new complaints.
How do I know that?
Email those to me, and I will look into them. You have not provided me anything as far as information that's new from what you're describing today. I addressed those concerns that you're describing in that memo, so I request that you read that more carefully so you thoroughly understand where you stand. And other than that, William,
which memo are you speaking of?
Email me, okay?
Which memo are you speaking of? I've only received one letter from you.
I'm arguing with you on the phone about this.
Which memo are you speaking of?
The memo that I sent to you that was dated July 2017, so July 17th, 2017.
Yep, that did not reference anything to do with Jefferson Park whatsoever.
Well, you need to read it a little more carefully to see how it applies to you.
No, I read it, believe me. And also, too, in that, let me ask you this question real quick. Let me ask you this. In that email...
Talk to you later,
No, listen. In that letter, you said that you're limited to investigating policy violations only. Oh my gosh!